I knew within 3 weeks that this woman I dated was going to be my wife, and these are the biggest reasons why. When I was growing up, it felt like the things I said weren't taken very seriously. I'm not alone in that, am I? I think one of the biggest things that frustrated me about being a young man was that it was expected of me to take everything on the chin, and it was generally frowned upon to share how I actually felt about things. We cannot be doing this anymore, fellas. This is literally how we got Darth Vader. This has bled into my adult life, and while I feel like I still struggle with some of that stuff, I've had some people in my life who have helped me break it. One of those was my mom, so shout out to you, Mom, and thanks for watching all of my videos. And another person is my wife. My wife made such a good early impression when it came to making sure that I felt prioritized and valued. When I would talk to her about the good things that happened to me, she would get so excited for me, and when I would talk to her about the hard parts of my day, she would take it seriously. With her, it felt like my words and feelings actually meant something. As a man, if you ask me, you don't realize how much you need something like that until you have it. Not only all of that, but this girl made a serious effort to care about the stuff that I care about. I really love basketball, for example. My wife isn't as interested. Even still, one of the first surprise gifts that she ever got me in our relationship were tickets to see an NBA game. I know that she doesn't care too much, but she would tell me from the beginning, because you care about something, I care about it too. Even with the things that she really isn't into at all, like video games or something, she would give me space to enjoy those things, even if she wasn't involved. I'm not saying I would just slam the door on her and she would happily ignore me while I played video games the entire day or something. I just mean that she respected my hobbies because I cared about them. I guess the best way to put it is that I was never meant to feel guilty for enjoying something around her. I don't know, I feel like I've seen enough videos on social media of guys having to apologize to their partners for spending their free time doing things they actually enjoy. I know videos like that are mostly just skits, but it still feels odd to me to even joke about begging for forgiveness for something that you like doing, unless you're taking it too far, obviously. The way that this girl really listened to me when we were first getting to know each other felt like a breath of fresh air. She really did make me feel valued from the very start, something that my previous partners did not do. From everything that I see on social media, it seems that there is so much fear revolving around honesty in relationships and what could go wrong if that's not prioritized. And honestly, it's a perfectly rational fear. The fear of putting your heart out there just for someone to completely squash it feels more and more often like a gamble that people would rather abstain from. My wife established pretty early on that trust and honesty was going to be a major building block for us in a few different ways. As early as it felt right to do so, this girl shared about her past and her hopes for the future as an individual and in a relationship pretty openly. I think we started off with a really healthy understanding of the relationships we've been in previously, what our boundaries are, what we see as important traits in a partner to be, where we see our futures heading, and all of that stuff. Neither of us had everything figured out yet by any means, but together we had ideas as to how we could avoid our past mistakes and do the right things moving forward based on what we wanted out of the relationship. It felt like that level of intentional conversation in a romantic setting was just a really encouraging way to start off a relationship. She also did her best to commit to things like that too. She talked about how vital communication was, for example, and then would actually lead in that by taking the time to understand how I was feeling about life stuff. We didn't talk about what would work for us for fun. We did it so that we could keep each other accountable and stick to it. Those conversations don't go away after a few hours. They're like a guideline to the whole relationship. Even still, things don't always go according to plan, and it's important to be able to navigate the hard times just the same as the easy times. Luckily for me, this girl was also very self-aware and honest in the face of her flaws. If my wife has anything she's working on, it's acknowledging that something has upset her and bringing it to light before it starts to really eat at her, even if it seems like something really silly. She's told me several times that she knows this is something she struggles with, and I've seen her actively improve upon it with my own two eyes. This does two things. It shows that she cares about me by giving me more of a chance to be understanding when she's upset and I don't really get why, but it also shows me that she cares enough about herself to be realistic in the face of that normal but often scary human level of imperfection. Those two things are massive for the health of a real relationship. Overall, this girl was honest with me and she expected the same from me. It was always apparent that we could talk through things with clarity and we wouldn't have to walk away from a conversation or a situation wondering. I mean, kindness is a non-negotiable trait, right? Of course, she was kind to me, but her kindness extended in a lot of different directions that were really telling. It's easy to be kind when it's convenient, but kindness when it's not convenient is something really special. I think the first thing I noticed with this girl is how she treated my friends and family. She treated the most important people in my life like they were the most important people in her life too, without any hesitation right off the bat. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I think all too often when we're looking for a partner, we're making sure we find the right person that fits with us, and that's vital, of course, but I don't think we talk enough about finding the right person that fits with the people closest to us as well. It was clear that this girl cared about how my friends and family received her, which is a huge sign of respect to me. She cares about them because they matter to me, and that's a huge piece of evidence proving that she cares for me as well. Not only that, but she was also just so kind to random individuals. Like, we would go get food and the waiter would bring out her order wrong, and she would be so nice and understanding about the mistake. It takes a real A+ person to be kind in situations like this. I feel like a pretty large flaw of mine is that sometimes I can get caught up in my own world and shut other people out if I feel too occupied, especially with random people out in public. Like, somebody could start some small talk with me at the grocery store or something, and I'd kind of just brush it off and try to move on with my day. This girl was not that way. Even when it seemed like we had places to be and things to do, if somebody would make a nice comment towards us, she would be so happy to hear them out and give them the time of day. That level of kind-heartedness, not only to the people that I care about, but also to people who were total strangers, felt like the biggest, brightest, "Hey idiot, maybe lock this one up" sign that I could have gotten. Her kindness wasn't conditional either. She was never quick to blame me, or anyone for that matter, when there were problems. Whenever things got difficult for any reason between us, it was never specifically my fault. Even if it actually was, it was simply just something that we needed to sort out together. For me, seeing this girl show genuine kindness, even in the most obscure or undeserving circumstances, proved a lot to me about the person that she really is beyond the situations where kindness is easy to resort to. If I had to narrow down all the traits that I really enjoyed about this girl when I was first getting to know her, these would be the things that told me that there is without a doubt something extra here. Something that I think I could get used to spending a lot of my time around. I feel like these are pretty universal traits that you want to look for in a spouse: someone who listens, someone who's honest, and someone who's kind, but there's a lot more than meets the eye to all of these things. You have to look both deeper and broader at a person's attitude and interactions in different situations to see if they really embody some of this stuff. And of course, a confident, self-assured partner who's ready to be in a meaningful relationship doesn't have to hyper-focus on these traits as a part of their personality. These traits are just who they are. The last thing I want to say is this: all of the positive traits imaginable that you see in someone do not matter if you can't rise to the occasion and show off some of those traits in yourself too. I hope this video gives you insight into what to look for in others, but also insight as to how you can be a green flag for others too.